Hello and welcome to another episode of the Full Force Weekly, brought to you by GeneralsJoes Reborn.com with me, Christopher McLeod AKA Diagnostic 80. For today's episode, I'm joined by the awesome Paul Plastic Battles Panfalone. In this regular video series, we round up all the week's news in the world of G.I. Joe. It's the Full Force Weekly. Hi, mate.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good. So Pat,
been a while.
Yeah, I was going to say Pat is currently on a different mission right now.
So it's time to call in the B team.
Well, you know,
C team.
He's not here, so let's say you're the A team.
Okay.
Pat's just available. He's the A team, but A stands for available. No, I'm kidding. We love you, Pat. But Paul, how are you doing, mate? It's been ages.
Doing okay. I've been for those who tune into Thursday Night Battles on Instagram. I've been off for a month because I slipped a disc in my back, so I'm slowly recovering from that. Obviously, I'm standing right now, which is good, but it's still not 100%. So I've got physical therapy and all that fun stuff to do, and hopefully I don't need
do they have to
more...
ease it back in? Is that what they have to do?
I wish they would, but that's not what they're doing. So it's just exercises and stretches and stuff, and hope that it kind of goes back in by itself. And if it doesn't, then maybe surgery. Who knows?
Oh, mate.
Yeah, maybe we'll see.
Ugh.
I kind of at this point I'll just do it and fix it and let's go.
This is the perils of Joe fans at this stage of their careers, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you grew up in the 80s, if you grew up in the 80s, yeah. Mate, that sucks. Get well soon. Again, loving your background. Always love your background. Tons of G.I. Joe.
It's just a mess.
Goodness.
But yeah, lots of stuff.
Well, we can't see the messy bit on the ground. We can only see the gorgeous layout. Yeah.
I gotta watch my step.
Yeah, keep it up. Don't show us. Don't ruin the illusion. Anyway, let's get stuck into the news because there's been an absolute shed load of it this week. And let's start with some Cobra Island reissue news. Yes, the moment a lot of us have been waiting for seems to be happening in numerous targets across the country, as those Cobra Island reissues that Hasbro mentioned during FanFirst Friday are starting to show up. Multiple sightings of the Cobra Trooper and Baroness with coil have been posted on socials everywhere, including a few sightings in good old Blighty. That's England for people that don't know what Blighty means. Obviously not in targets out there, but some great shots of shelves in Forbidden Planet show a lot of G.I. Joe product in general, and even some Walmarts back in the States have been restocking the standard classified releases as well. Now, this is good news, right, Paul?
Yeah, I would say. I mean, it's something that we, like when they reissued the Cobra Infantry and stuff like that, I didn't think they were going to come back with Cobra Trooper or Cobra Island exclusives again. So this is exciting. It's more exciting if people can actually find them. You know what I mean? So that's yet to be seen. If they do like they did with Major Blood, with the Cobra Trooper and Viper, the Army Builders especially, and Beachhead, because that seems to be one that everybody wants and couldn't find.
Yeah, I
think people would be happy. I don't think we need that roadblock again, but I think the other ones we definitely would like to see again.
I've got to say, I do love that version 2 roadblock. I really do. I think it's really cool actually, but we've had so many Roadblock's has had more figures almost than Snake Eyes. Had it not been for the movie line appearing out of nowhere and Roadblock in nowhere in sight, but don't rule him out. You can just imagine if he shows up in the film right at the end or something, and they're like, right, we better release a Roadblock movie figure. It's like, yes.
He'll show up 4 times in 4 different outfits. But I like that Roadblock a lot. I just feel like there was more of him than any of the other ones.
Yeah, that's true. It's funny to, like, people were calling like certain figures shelf warmers and peg warmers, which is absolutely ludicrous because there just hasn't been that. I mean, like, he was just last on the pegs effectively. But even then, he was gone. Just as like the first wave went, and just as like everything else has disappeared off the shelves. It seems like Hasbro is starting to like get its act together. It did have COVID to deal with last year, much like everybody else, and huge
I feel like that
shipping issues.
Did affect stuff. Yeah, I feel like that was definitely affected so many different industries, we know it definitely affected the toy industry. So
absolutely. I just started following someone on Twitter, and I feel really bad for not remembering who it is, but they do in-depth, this is very niche, but they do really in-depth shipping information regarding toys and the toy industry. What I will do is I'll put that in the link below once I found out who it is at the end of the show, so you can check them out too. I think it was Toy Galaxy Dan had posted about it on Twitter and said, check this guy out. He does and it's like super in-depth, information about it. It should give you more of an idea of what companies in general are having to deal with shipping wise. In any case, yeah, so we're getting more Cobra Island reissues. I think obviously it's great for people that weren't able to get them initially, or I know there's been a lot of anger and a lot of hatred towards it, and people have dropped out because of it. But I think if you kind of get a bit of perspective about it, it would help. Because I'm not saying you're wrong to feel angry for not getting these. I just think, maybe perspective does give you a different outlook about it. And a lot of people will say, it's just toys and stuff like that. But yeah, it's more than that to a lot of people. It's more than that to us. But I'm not there going, forget this line and everything, because I just, eventually that you'll probably get them. So I still haven't had to pay over the odds for anything yet, surprisingly. I haven't had to go to eat, and that's the other thing. I just don't do eBay. Just put a bit of effort in initially, and you might be able to get them. You know what I mean? Yeah,
I paid a little bit more for Viper and Cobra Trooper, but not a ton more, and it was local anyway. So I didn't do eBay for anything. Any of the other ones I got either through online like Target or Pulse or at the store. So
we've actually got a little news story about Target online later in the show, which we're going to save till the end. But yeah, that's a really good example actually of maybe the improvements that have started to happen as well. So
yeah, and that's the other thing too. I think if we didn't see any improvement, any the needle moving at all, I could understand people still being upset. But since they're obviously listening, and it takes, if they make a decision today, you're not going to see the results for months, because that's just the way things work. So they obviously made a decision months ago to improve this availability, and you saw that this week.
Exactly. Major Bloods as well appearing thick on the blooming pegs. So fingers crossed they've got their stuff sorted out. We'll get to that other story a little bit later on. Next up though, we do have a cool bit of THREEZERO news. As well as the standard 1/6 scale 12-inch THREEZERO Fig Zero Snake Eyes figure showing up in mailboxes earlier in the week. Thanks to Johnny McKee. We got some images of the figure to share on the day, so thanks, Johnny. We also saw THREEZERO reveal a red Dead Game variant, which found its way onto BBTS the day before 50 pieces went up for sale over their Tmall 618 shopping festival. Easy for me to say. I know a lot of you were worried about getting one over the festival, but thankfully 1,500 pieces were made, and they are still up for pre-order exclusively in the United States on Big Bad Toy Store. The repaint takes inspiration from Rob Liefeld's Snake Eyes Dead Game comic, which features the Joe's Ninja Commando in the red costume on numerous covers and in the actual story for a short period of time as well. I'm loving the deco, including that white Arashikage logo on the arm. Paul, did you get in on this guy?
I did not. I got in the original Snake Eyes THREEZERO and the Storm Shadow, but I don't need a red Snake Eyes.
I buckled really immediately. I literally buckled immediately. As soon as I saw it, I'm like, oh yeah, I quite like that. And I'm not, don't get me wrong, we've been reading Dead Game, and Brian and I have been doing Comics Bursts, reviews about Dead Game. It's not the best comic in the world, shall we say?
I have a couple issues,
But, and also the whole costume changes and stuff throughout are hilariously mind-boggling.
It's very Liefeld.
Yes. I mean, one funny thing about the red costume, right? Spoiler alert if you haven't read Dead Game yet, or you want to, but he gets in a fight in his shirt, you see his regular black costume gets a bit torn up. He gets hit by this poison dart by Olympia, and this poison dart makes his skin go red. So he gets all this red skin, and you think, oh, that's why there's a red Snake Eyes. No, it's not. He later on in literally the next page, skin is normal again. And he's just wearing a red costume that they made using scraps of the bad guys' I mean, mental. None of it makes any sense. It's bonkers, but we get a red Snake Eyes. And coming back to this 3-0 Snake Eyes, I adore that design for the original. And so when I saw it in red, I'm like, oh, I need it. I need it. I don't know what's wrong with me.
It looks cool. I just, Snake Eyes it's one of those things. Like Storm Shadow's white, Snake Eyes is black. I don't need the crimson Guard Snake Eyes.
You mean gray? He's gray, blue, and black is what you mean, and with a bit of red.
Or that too. Even that one, I'll accept. It's if it happened in that original run, then I accept it. But I don't know. I think Crimson Guard. So if you're gonna make a red figure, make a sweet Crimson Guard 12-inch figure. You know what I mean?
I understand what 3-0 doing here, because obviously repaints are part of the path of the course, aren't they? And in some cases it works really well, and I think we can blame G.I. Joe Vintage originally for this kind of toy process, this kind of marketing idea of we've got figures. We've got these molds. How do we sell more of them?
Why not? You know what I mean?
Exactly,
yeah, I get you. But you know what I'd rather see? If you're doing it, you've already done a Snake Eyes and a Storm Shadow, right? So do the yin and yang and do a white Snake Eyes and a black Storm Shadow.
That would be so dope. Then you've got what is it? I say Ninja Ku, but Ninja Ku wasn't he was black as well, wasn't he, the original Vintage figure? So if they did like a repaint of Storm Shadow in the black, I'd love to see him with like the darker skin. I think that would be pretty dope as well.
Yeah, that'd just be fun. You know what I mean? So. And
a white Snake Eyes, because that was in Dead Game as well, by the way. So he wears white in Dead Game.
Well, he's wearing every color of the rainbow. I think they're
done, right? Anyway, yes. Well, that's 3-0, and I must admit, I do like, and I like that striking white Arashikage logo on the arm as well.
That does look cool.
That's a nice touch.
I'll give you that.
But anyway, hopefully mine should be coming in soon from In Demand Toys. I'll shout them out later in the show. I'm looking forward to that original. And the Storm Shadow. Let's talk about that Storm Shadow for a second, because that is gorgeous, isn't it?
Yeah, I can't wait for that. Yeah, like for photography even. Like those figures are going to, like, with dramatic lighting or whatever, like lighting those and casting shadows on their faces and things, I think you're going to get so much more detail out of those figures, obviously, because they're larger and they're soft goods and stuff. So I think that's really exciting.
Have you been getting any ideas? Have you been getting any ideas already?
I've got lots of ideas. I haven't actually posted anything photography-wise since I think October of last year. But I've been working on stuff. So like this is one of the things what I'm working toward. These two figures are going to work great for that. So I just got to wait to get them in hand. Yeah. Amazing.
I can't wait. If you weren't aware somehow, then Paul obviously is Plastic Battles on most of the socials, all of the socials. So check him out on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, his website. All of those links will be underneath in the description below, so you can check those out. Amazing photographer, by the way. Amazing toy photographer. Sorry, Paul, to speak on your behalf there. But
no, it's good. Thanks.
Okay, well, let's move on out of 3-0 and into, kind of what we wanted to talk about at the beginning, and that is Target exclusive news. Yes, the Target exclusives Barbecue and Breaker with Ram went up for pre-order on Target, Pulse Partner exclusives for premium members and other sites worldwide on Thursday at 1 PM EST. We got more great images of the two figures on that sweet Cobra Island diorama, which we have shared in full on our socials, and incredibly, they were up on Target for a very long time indeed. Incredible. I think I actually wrote down how long they were up for. So I sat there and waited to check to see when they'd be sold out. Breaker was up from 1 PM, obviously, or about 1:04 PM on Target, to 4:45, which was the current Cobra Island record on Target. It has now been obliterated.
I think the record prior to that was 60 seconds.
If that, it was, I think, milliseconds in actual fact.
Yeah, right.
Barbecue is still there, guys, as of this recording on Friday. So Barbecue from 1 PM to now, which is unreal. Anyway, enough of me going on about the times they're up. Let me get back to what I was reading out. Barbecue was $22.99 and Breaker with RAM came in at $41.99 on both sides. It would appear as though Hasbro and Target have gone some way to increasing the numbers of pieces for these exclusives, and hopefully everyone who wants them will be able to get them. I was fortunate enough to grab one of each from Pulse, but they were sold out in about 8 minutes on Pulse. I think it was 8 minutes for Breaker, 9 minutes for Barbecue. Not even kidding. Still not bad considering what we've had to put up with in the past. Really happy with how that day turned out. Let's hope we don't see a string of cancelled pre-orders in the future, but so far so good. This can't be life right now, can it, Paul? I mean, how did you fare with in your experience?
I went well. I mean, I'm a Hasbro Pulse member, so I was able to order from Hasbro Pulse, no problem. And then I went over to Target, and they were there, so I'm like, well, I'll order from Target too. And I'm like, oh my god, I got both. Like, I got both on both platforms, I guess. So I was like, that's cool. So let me order another one for Target and see what happens. And it went through. So I'm like, cool. But then later in the day, I got a cancellation message from Target saying, like, we canceled your second order because you ordered past the limit.
One. Okay.
And I thought that was great. I was like, oh, that's awesome. They're actually paying attention, which means more people can get this stuff. So typically what I like to do is I'll order, one to open, maybe one to keep in a package. I might even order a third to customize or weather, for photography.
Yeah.
But I might even try to get another for somebody who can't get them. You know what I mean? Like friends of ours who live in Canada and can't get anything from Target and may not live near a Toys R Us up there. So I was able to get another one from Pulse, so that one's earmarked for a friend. So yeah, it went smooth, and they were still up for a while, and I went on social, and the people who were like, because you get the people who are like, they sold out, oh my god. I'm like, limited quantities, Hasbro Pulse, Target exclusive. The fact that they're even on Hasbro Pulse is a bonus, because that wasn't the case before. They must have had to work out some deal with their partners like Amazon and Target to allow for a certain amount of quantity on Pulse, because people were complaining they weren't, like me. I'm like, you got to have some up there. So they did that. They addressed that. And but then people didn't realize they're actually up on Target. So on social, I'm just like, go to Target, here's the link. The same thing I did with Roadblock when the Amazon exclusive came out. So
that is something I did notice. A few people messaged to say, like, really angry with Hasbro Pulse, and it's like, well, that isn't the main place to get it from. That is like that is like an extra avenue, and we all know it's limited quantities. Like, we know it's going to be done quickly. Tell you what, 8 minutes is an absolute eternity. And I know a few people were having issues with, the kind of like the spinning wheel on the actual payment thing. I mean, I had to wait maybe like a minute or two for one of them to go through. What I actually found initially was I went and I saw Breaker pops up first on Hasbro Pulse, because I was refreshing every 12 seconds, just like, and up he came. I'm like, brilliant. It actually started refreshing from about 1:45 before it actually got to 1 o'clock. But anyway, popped up, went to buy him, brilliant. Got him, went back, got Barbecue. He just popped up, put him in the cart as well. As I'm in the car, it says Breaker sold out. And I was like, oh, that's a shame. But I fully expected it. So do you know what? I'm not going to worry. I'll just carry on. Went back to the page, and he's there. And it's not sold out. So I'm like, okay, clicked on it, bought him. I'm like, that's weird. So a few people
I was going to say the same thing happened to me. Yeah. I had them both in cart, went to check out. Breaker sold out, did the Barbecue. Went back to look. Breaker was there, cashed out separately for Breaker. So they must have... He went live and then didn't go live and then went live again.
That's almost... I'm pretty sure that's what happened, because usually, or you'd expect them both to be up there at the same time when you refresh. And because he was up there first and Barbecue wasn't, that we probably got him on like hang on, let me change that. They're like, oh, wait.
Working in e-commerce for years, I know that can happen. So.
Exactly. So it's funny how these little glitches happen. Everyone was on it so fast, though, weren't they? Like,
oh my god, yeah.
I mean, one of the things I noticed as well is, like, Hasbro did give us a warning. It was a vague warning, but the amount of people I saw saying it won't be Barbecue and Breaker. It won't be Barbecue and Breaker.
I know. I was like, what else is it going to be?
Well, I can imagine them. They might do some reissues, but they're not going to just put the reissues up necessarily. It would be an epic drop. Would be your main things, and then also, hey, guess what? Major Blood's up here as well. Surprise.
Yeah.
And also,
yeah, that's what they did last time.
Yeah,
right?
And also, did you notice on Target, I kept refreshing the G.I. Joe Classified page and just to see how long these were going to last, which was like friggin' ages. And Major Blood appears on targetonline.com. And I'm like, brilliant. So now we're kind of like, we're being spoiled now, aren't we? We've gone from nothing to everything.
Well, I noticed prior to yesterday morning, prior to Barbecue and Breaker going up, Blood was available. I could have ordered them if I wanted to, So I think that's great. I think they're addressing the availability issue. So I'm excited more than ever that as long as the trend keeps going, that when they introduce new figures, I don't have that, stressful, thoughts of like, oh my God, there's going to be a really, really annoying day in the future here coming up to get this stuff, so it's going to be more exciting, less stressing out about it. So
now we're going to get shelf and peg warmers because everyone's bought them already. So
well, that's what they're going to say. Like people are going to be saying, well, barbecue's still available because no one wanted barbecue. I'm waiting for those comments. Where's Shipwreck? I'm like, well, I'm sure they're never going to make a Shipwreck. That's why they made barbecue.
Exactly. It's funny, isn't it, how there's no patience at all. I mean, I'm guilty of it sometimes too, but like not when it comes to like a character being revealed. I'm not thinking, oh, they should have done this instead. I'm never thinking that. I'm like, guys, we've got a barbecue. This is great.
I know.
I'm like, who doesn't like? I can't believe there's so many people that don't like barbecue. Makes no sense.
Because he's considered a B or C character, right? By a lot of people.
Yes.
But I don't. But so is most characters. Like, I wouldn't. I like you could say like Shipwreck's a B character to some people. You know what I mean? Like the A characters are Snake Eye, Storm Shadow, Cobra Commander, Destro. Those are the A ones. So
you could argue.
I don't know.
You can argue Flint is a B character.
Yeah. I mean, it just depends on your point of view on it. I think any of
You'd
these
be wrong, but
guys are exciting, and the iconic characters as far as their looks go, right? So out of the look of Barbecue is one of the most iconic looks in the line. I think he's one of the most different looking characters, especially that early on in '85. So it's fun to see those interesting looking characters early on. You know what I mean? And then you get Breaker too. So you did a pretty standard looking guy with a very iconic looking one, and you get them both, and I like that mix. Yeah,
that Breaker is dope as well. Like,
oh my God, so good.
The bike's really cool. I know a lot of people have been saying that he needs like a sidearm or something, but the dude's got a fucking Gatling gun on his bike. I don't think I think he's all right. He's all right for weapons.
I don't know. Sure, he could use a sidearm, but you know how many pistols come with the other figures? Like, just put one of those in his hand. I don't need.
Yeah.
And I buy and you get tons of I got tons of extra stuff laying around. You could just give here's the Punisher. You know what I mean? Like, there's this if we're collecting, we've got tons of these things laying around. So if you want to pose Breaker out with a shotgun or a pistol, I'm sure you got one laying around.
Exactly. It's I totally agree with that. And I guess you could argue he should have a little holster, but I tell you what, again, you could probably easily customize using what's out there in Marvel Legends, in Classified.
Yep.
I'm sure there's you could use that Snake Eyes holster. Sure. That retail figure isn't difficult to necessarily find. I mean, I just have to reach out, and he's right here. So
within arm's reach. And a lot of stuff this is all my opinion, of course. So I'm not saying anybody should do what I say.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. But but the way I look at it is, Breaker's a communication guy. He's got a motorcycle and stuff. So I could see him with a sidearm. But also as a kid, when I played with Breaker, I don't think I ever put a gun in his hands once. He was always either just doing the radio or he was manning some kind of battle station. You know what I mean? So to me, I was like, whatever.
I think my only gripe at all, if I had one, because I actually do love that figure and I think it's really cool with the bike and everything, is he would have been really cool with some sort of little updated communications backpack. But I get it, because what they're saying is that isn't now today's technology doesn't need that. His helmet probably just does everything he needs to do.
I mean, yeah, exactly. I'm thinking about how weird it would be to have a communications backpack when I have an iPhone that can track me around the world with GPS, has no antenna. I don't need a backpack for it, and I can call. It bounces off satellites no matter where I am. So I don't think he's got that huge gear on his head. I'm sure there's enough room in there to fit some high tech stuff.
Here's something for you. In terms of redoing certain figures, Breaker's one you could bring out again as a deluxe with lots and lots of gear and equipment and all sorts of stuff like that. So
Sure.
you could have him with, you know, some sort of like, I don't know, like a deluxe, in a deluxe box where you'd have like almost like a workstation. Do you know what I mean? Like something like futuristic kind of like TV screen kind of thing. That would be kind of cool. And, you know, something along those lines I think would work to bring Breaker back again.
If you think of like what they did with Star Wars with Pulse, right? Didn't they do like a Star Wars walls, like the hallway or something for Star Wars?
Yeah.
So they could do something like, like the, you know, in the Sunbow cartoon, Breaker was always sitting in front of the big screens at the communications console. So they could do something like that for like a little playset diorama. That would be cool.
It would be wicked, wouldn't it? And also, I'll be talking about Assembly Required later, and they did last year for Armour, the online version of the show. They did an amazing make-it-yourself, like 4 and 6 inch compatible interior, like computer screen desk layout. It's amazing, like a cardboard one that you build yourself. It's freaking awesome. In any case, that's Breaker and Barbecue, and way more happiness connected to Target exclusives. Finally, we are winning. Let's move on to even more interesting pre-order news in Jada Toys news. Yes, Entertainment Earth sneakily revealed pre-orders for the Jada Toys Remote Control Vamp Mark II, including a ton of images showing off the vehicle, the controller and the packaging, which oddly had the Ore Striker emblazoned over it, but I'm guessing that's just a generic choice. It costs $49.99 and will begin shipping in October of this year. Paul, did you end up grabbing this?
No, I didn't. I'm not into like RC cars really at all. I don't really have a use for them. I know you would have. If it was like a straight up reissue of the Crossfire, I'd be all over it.
With Rumbler.
Just because my Crossfire tires are like dry rotted. I need new tires for. But it's
because it's that rubber they use, isn't it, on the old school? Yeah.
Yeah, I even went to an RC shop and they're like, they don't make those tires anymore. And they're like, okay, you know, so they have different tires now or something. I don't know. So, yes. But I haven't really looked, but I was gonna try to track some down, but. I don't know. I just don't see myself using it. I'm like running out of room for things.
It's a big bugger as well, isn't it? It's like 1/14 scale, which is not the scale as well. I mean, I understand what Jada are doing because they're not necessarily making vehicles to collaborate with other toy lines, even if it's their licensed partner Hasbro. So I understand that. And also, the way that that's made, it's effectively just tons of machinery and then the shell stuck on top of it, isn't it, really? So I kind of get...
Yeah, it's got that wrap, printed wrap going on, too, which I'm like, it's all right. It looks pretty cool. I think it's for... I can see more kids interested in that, right? Because
I got one.
Like big kids, you know, driving around the driveway or trying to jump it off of ramps or stuff. What did they do in the video? Tried to jump the 3 Cobra soldiers. Took him a few tries.
Funny. That was so funny. That was a Paul as well at Hasbro, and he tried to jump those 3 Cobra Troopers, and it was just like fail. Did it? Yay! Amazing. I must admit, I think if they were to do, like you say, like something for like the 4-inch, like maybe if it had kind of like been able to be utilized with the retro line, that would have been kind of cool, you know, putting like 4-inch figures in there, because every Joe fan has friggin' 4-inch figures, like even, you know, even the casual ones. So that would have been kind of cool. But I kind of understand where they're coming from, Jada are coming from in doing this. It's effectively just an RC vehicle and a bit of fun. Honestly, for $50, I was expecting that to be like 100 and something for some reason.
It was way cheaper than I expected when I saw the price.
I found that a lot recently with G.I. Joe pre-orders. The THREEZERO figure I thought was going to be like 300 and something. I don't know why. I just thought it was going to be high end. And 150, yes, it's expensive, but nowhere near what I thought it was going to be. So I've been pleasantly surprised almost every time, price-wise, with the G.I. Joe stuff. So, okay, so that's Jada Toys' amazing, in my opinion, RC Mark II Vamp, which I can't wait to piss about with in October when hopefully it ships. So next up then, we have a bit of Renegade Game Studios news. Huge shout out to James Kerr for the heads up on this one. Renegade Game Studios have posted a save the date on Eventbrite, revealing an online convention called Renegade Con Virtual, which will feature discussion, demos and a deep dive into each product line for Power Rangers, G.I. Joe and Transformers. Yes, running over 2 days in July the 16th and 17th, we will get some really in-depth info and major reveals for their brand new G.I. Joe role-playing game, and I can't wait to see what they have in store. It had gone a bit quiet ever since senior producer of role-playing games at Renegade Game Studios, Elisa Teague, appeared on the Renegade Society radio show hosted by Amanda McKnight. Elisa explained that there would be a focus on creating your own character in both Joe and Transformers games, going as far as to detail choosing a character, purpose, vehicle, faction and motivation for the Transformers game specifically. Hopefully we will get to see some packaging for the game prior to the event, but I'm really looking forward to what they have in store for the brand, and will almost certainly be picking up the game for reals. You can register for the free online event through Eventbrite via the link in the description below. Paul, is this something that interests you at all? I mean, are you intrigued about what this is going to be?
Yes, I've never done any RPG games in my life.
They're very fun.
Yeah, I've been around them. I know people that have. Friends of mine are into, like, I don't know, would you consider Magic RPG game, right? I don't know. Are they the same? I don't know.
You're in the same universe, aren't you? Basically?
Yeah, the same idea where you get a bunch of cards and they have different characters and they have different things and you sit down at a table and you play against each other. Like, I have friends that do that, and I was like, nah, I'm not really interested in this kind of stuff. But a G.I. Joe one, I am interested in. So I think I'm gonna get this for the first time. I'm gonna just get it to have it, and if if I don't end up playing, it's cool to have because I'm sure there's going to be like cool art and stuff like that. On these things.
Yeah, I'm hoping so.
So yeah, so I'm really interested.
I'll have the Ore Striker on the front.
It'll just be the same old art on everything. Like I already have these cards from 1986 or whatever.
I think I'm not sure. We don't really know anything about it at the moment, other than it's going to be kind of RPG based. You could kind of maybe base on the Power Rangers stuff they've done in the past, where you've got like the little figurines, you've got a little kind of little tabletop kind of thing going on. So it might be along those lines too, which again is going to be really cool to have little mini G.I. Joe characters.
That'd be cool too. Yeah, right.
I mean, the Jada ones are amazing. I quite like those metal ones. Although I've gone from not seeing any anywhere to seeing about 20 on a peg now.
Yeah, wait till they get that big set out. You know what I mean?
I want that 18 pack though. It's amazing. So this is cool. I've got a feeling it's going to be one of those things where I've got the event. I got the ticket for it where you go online and pay $0 for an online free event. And I've got a feeling it's going to be one of those things where we're waiting for, through the Power Rangers bit, through the Transformers bit, then we'll get the G.I. Joe bit at the end, like on day 2, and everyone's like, oh, I sat through the whole thing and it didn't say anything about G.I. Joe. Be prepared to maybe dip in and out, guys. That's all I'm going to say, because it's going to be a convention. It's not just G.I. Joe related. That's going to be something I think we're going to have to pay attention to, isn't it?
Yeah, and you never know, like, don't they already have a Transformers game?
Yes, I think they have had Transformers games. I don't think they've got what is going to be coming out in Transformers form. I could be wrong about that. It might be. Let me know.
It might be a pleasant surprise, but I'm used to they'll spend a half hour on Transformers, half hour on Power Rangers, and then you get like 10 minutes of G.I. Joe. Like,
here's the packaging reveal. See ya.
Yeah. They're like, we'll have more to talk about in the future, and then it just shows up in stores, and you know what I mean. So, so anything more than that is a pleasant surprise.
Absolutely,
my expectations are low for that stuff, just because of past experiences. But we'll see. I
feel like I'm used to this now, especially with the kind of Hasbro Pulse events, which are just freaking. I love them. I think they're great. Like even things I'm not interested in, I'll have it in the background, just kind of like. just kind of listening in every now and again to like Dungeons and Dragons chat and just being like, I'm not really like that big into this, but this is quite fun what they're talking about and doing. So, I'm kind of, I feel like I've done, and I've been on Complex Land now for 2 days, just wandering around, around like what I've described as Lawnmower Man meets GeoCities.
It does look like that. That's a good call. I didn't go in there at all. I'm like, I am not doing this. This to me is like a digital version of like the what was that app that the Cobra Commander dropped? Network. This is like Network, but living inside of it. I'm like, things are just going to go wrong and get really annoying. So I'm not going to do this.
That is what it is, because it's like, it's the kind of like high-end merch that is, like very hipster, very that kind of vibe. I'm not gonna. I like some of the stuff in there. Don't get me wrong. Sneakerheads, very sneakerhead based thing. I went in there and I was watching some of the Complex original videos that kind of put together, and I watched, some sneaker collection ones. I watched Roman Reigns go shopping for sneakers, which was quite interesting. Yeah, but like crazy, because he goes in and he buys for all his family, and it was like $1,500 he spent on sneakers. I'm just like, that's a different world, isn't it?
It's be tough.
And then I also watched this Pete Davidson bit where he does this, like, he goes through eating different hot sauce levels on chicken wings while he's trying to do an
that's
interview.
Kind of funny.
It was, I was crying watching it.
It's like hot ones.
Yeah. I don't know what the show's called actually. There's obviously I think it was like some sort of podcast or TV show that was connected to it, but it looked freaking awful. Like when they got to like it was like 630,000 Kelvin or something ridiculous like that. It was something like Widowmaker or something at the end, or whatever it was, some hideous level.
Well, yeah, let me eat that. Let me eat something called a Widowmaker.
No thanks.
What the hell? I was like, no, I'm not going to go into this. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
but
I feel that, and that was enjoyable. And then when I finally got to the drop, it was just I'm not going to explain. I'm not going to get into it. Watch the news burst because it was hilarious. But I feel like I'm kind of conditioned to deal with these long periods of time when nothing is going on, and then bam, you got to go in there, you got to watch it and record it and report on it.
Yeah, I think you're in that mode. I think that's the life you live now.
Now,
I just watch you live it, and I'm like, okay, I'll just hang back.
If I live vicariously through me, do that. It's like he's doing all the hard work. I'll just enjoy the fruits of his labor.
I'll just make snarky comments on Twitter about stuff. That's what I'll do.
Amazing. Anyway, mate, that's the end of the news. There's quite a lot of it, like I said, this week. We've probably missed about 6 stories breaking in the time we've been on here. I have been kind of trying to keep an eye on it, but the most hilarious one is 80stees.com, which we always joke about. They're breaking artwork left, right, and centre, but they did just the other day reveal, I think, 4 more new classified tees. I'll flash them up on the side there. We won't get into that because it just is what it is. They're always uploading stuff. But I think there was like the classified collage of Joe characters, Cobra characters. There's a Cobra Commander with like the Rattlers in the background, which is kind of cool. And then there's the Snake Eyes Storm Shadow together kind of maneuver. So yeah, that's your 80s tees update, guys. Should we move into shout outs, mate?
Sure. Yeah, let's do it.
Right, okay then. Nearly there. Do you want to go first on shout-outs? Have you got any stuff in this week or any shout-outs you want to make?
Yeah, I got a funny shout-out.
Do it.
To Walmart.
Here we go.
Okay, all right. So I'm gonna give a shout-out to Walmart. Like the retro Stalker and Cobra Trooper are floating around Walmarts, right? But you can't really. There they are. You can't really order them technically online through the app because there's no specific listing. But there is this generic retro figures listing that you can order, right? So, and I've seen it there so I didn't order it for like a week, and it's still sitting there. I'm like, I'm just going to order this generic one and see what shows up, right? Because I've seen a couple other people order, and they've gotten the Trooper in the Stalker in the mail from this generic listing. And I had seen it before I saw people talking about it. So I'm like, okay, I should have ordered from that. So I ordered 2 sets of 2 because you got a limit to 2. So the first set, hold on, the first set shows up.
Is it Duke and Duke? Tell me it's Duke and Duke.
Oh no, it's close. The first set shows up, right? And like a beat up Snake Eyes. It's like open,
wow,
you know, whatever. And I'm like, damn, you know, I'm like, all right,
brilliant.
But that was the first set that showed up on like Wednesday, right? So then yesterday, the second one shows up. This time in a box, right? This came in like a mailer, right? You
Classic,
can tell,
yeah.
Right? So
delivered
like,
by Ace Ventura, yeah.
I'm like, here come 2 more Dukes. You know what I mean? But to my surprise, one of them was actually Stalker.
Brilliant.
All right, so I'm like, all right, cool.
Easily the best figure they've done in the retro line so far as well.
Yeah, and I'm like, wait a minute, what's this other thing in the box? This isn't a retro figure. I was like, well, are they drowning in Cobra Commanders? They're like, you know what? This is almost twice as much, but we'll just give it to them. So I paid whatever, $12 for this. Amazing. And $12 for this.
Amazing.
So I was like, okay, I'll just add it to the pile. I honestly probably have 7, 8 of these now. So okay.
So funny. Oh my god.
So, thanks for the $8 or whatever bonus.
That's clearly Walmart ordered from the network. Those Cobra Commanders. So
too bad it wasn't a Regal one.
Do you know what? Yeah, had Network delivered on Regals, I'd have been happy as Larry. Instead, I ended up with about 16 Cobra Commanders of that style, which it's a great figure, but that can get pretty tiresome over, you know, for any figure, and if it's not an army builder.
I'm working on a couple, like, I don't know what you call them, customs, but maybe like more of a kit bash with this figure, so awesome. For photography reasons. So actually having multiples of this figure is good. So that should be cool.
That was lucky then. Thanks, Walmart.
Yeah, thanks, Walmart. So that was random. You know, I might roll the dice again today and put in another order and see what shows up. Who knows?
This is like,
you know what I mean?
Retro lottery. It's not even retro as well. It's like, we'll just throw whatever.
It's a G.I. Joe lottery.
Throw them some Jada minifigs. There you go.
Who knows what'll show up? It could be a 1986 Leatherneck found in the back of a warehouse.
Could you imagine?
Show up next time.
Could you imagine? Here's an entire run of European exclusive Tiger Force figures. Carded.
Hit and run. Carded. Tiger Force hit and run. Yeah, so I don't know who's back there. Some guy, some 80-year-old dude has been at Walmart since like 1982. Is like the master of the G.I. Joe
This
stuff.
could go in a box. Amazing.
He'll enjoy this. I'll just give him this here. Yeah, so anyway, so that's my shout out there, and the other shout out. You know, I'm gonna shout out Hasbro and say thanks for listening and you know, I might be a shill, but whatever. I'm gonna say thanks for listening and making these pre-orders available to pretty much anyone who wants them, because that was awesome. That was a good experience. I
definitely second that one, Paul. I actually put it in my shout outs as big shout out to Hasbro and Target for getting their shit together. So, but yeah, really appreciate like such an easy process as well. Like I was kind of nervous, and I don't know why, because like like every time this happens, I'm just like, you know what, I'll get it later, and I'm not even going to bother. And I did bother, and I was really nervous, and I got them all, and then Target were just like almost taunting me for about 8 hours, just going, yeah, we still have them.
Yep.
If you
like,
why
were you? Yeah, like, why'd you get so upset? We're good. We got all these. You know, that's how I felt the anxiety too. I had Target open in one window, and I had Pulse open in another, and I had a credit card out in case. Oh, God. In case my autofill didn't remember my credit card. Like, I had everything set up. You know, it's the same thing when you're trying to like buy tickets to a concert or something that you know is going to sell out, or Comic-Con or something. You know what I mean? Like, you have that anxiety. So, but it was smooth.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Well, I'll do my shout outs then. As always, big shout out to all the family and to my wonderful wife Kate. Love you all. To Brian Sauer, who continues to create some amazing graphics for us, including the new Summer Q-Force theme, which is just amazing. And also a big thank you to Brian for hooking me up with the latest retro figures, which I waved up a little while ago. Latest retro figures and 2 Series 3 mini haulers from Micro Machines. So much appreciated for that, bud. Thank you. On a related note, And something I mentioned at the start of the show, Assembly Required continued with the major reveals this week by announcing a new, much bigger venue, the Forte Banquet and Conference Centre, which has space for more than 35 booths, a large area for gathering and dedicated rooms for the popular panels, as well as hot sandwiches, pop and beer available at the concession stand. And I would have said fizzy drinks, being British. I know there's a big divide between pop and soda in the US, isn't there?
Yeah, pop. I'm pop all the way.
But
I'm from Buffalo. We say pop, and we say stuff weird there anyway.
We actually say pop in the UK too, oddly enough. But fizzy drinks is like, that's the one that usually gets utilised, which sounds like a child is saying it, doesn't it? And we'll be getting Brian as well on the show very soon to discuss all the details. But for now, just check out Codename Iowa on Facebook and Instagram to keep up with all the news around this awesome convention. Links in the description. Big shout out, and I've got a shout out while I do this, to WordBurglar for the teas. Yeah, they came in probably about 20 minutes before this recording started. So massive thank you to Sean J. Bergs, WordBurglar. And also as well, he did drop his second part of the Welcome to Cobra Island deep dive on episode 36. This episode covers track 2, A Letter from Snake Eyes part 1. I know there's a lot of there's a lot of notes. So that's episode 36, the second part of the Cobra Island deep dive. It's track 2 and it's part 1 of A Letter from Snake Eyes. That is really confusing, isn't it? Anyway.
Yeah, just listen to it. It's great.
Exactly.
I listened to it last night.
It's great, and I got a shout out, so there you go. That's why I listened to it. I wouldn't have listened to it had he not told me. That's a lie. I do love his Weekend at Bergie's shows, are just amazing. Also, shout out to Johnny Mackey. I did mention his name earlier. He sent us loads of images of the brand new THREEZERO Snake Eyes, which we kind of shared. So thank you, Johnny. Really appreciate that, mate. Massive shout out to In Demand Toys for sending me the entire 4 classified field variants. Yeah, I'm having to go to like the UK to get these. I know Snake Eyes isn't necessarily a field variant, but he kind of is.
It's just the knife's in a different spot.
No
but
red
the rest
dot.
of them is exactly the same.
No.
There's no red
well.
dot. Yeah. I didn't know that. Interesting.
So there is.
Wait,
his head does look different, you know.
Does it?
I wonder if it's a bit more matte than the other one.
Oh, maybe. But you know, it's the same. It's the same figure. People count it as a separate one. It's the same. You know what I mean? It's not a separate release.
Exactly.
It's the same figure. Same thing with Roblox and Duke and Scarlet. They have just different colorways. The number on the box is the same. The package art's the same.
However, they have changed. Hasbro have changed these Duke, Scarlet, and Roblox. They've officially given the name Field Variant, and they've changed the UPC code. Yeah, you can see there's a little sticker over on this now. So yeah,
they would have to change the UPC for inventory reasons.
Absolutely.
So, but yeah, I've gotten all but Snake Eyes, and I've got it on pre-order from Big Bad Toy Store. So whenever the heck that comes in,
there's no sticker on Snake Eyes. So you're right. It's just a very random packaging variant with no red dot on his head. But do you know what? That was enough for me. I'm like, I need that friggin' finger.
I know. I ordered it too, so
I need it.
Yeah,
so
it's a sickness.
Thanks to Indemand. Yeah, it really is. Thanks to Indemand Toys. So much of a sickness. I order them from the United Kingdom. Shout out as well to James Mays, aka Considerate Juvenile. Love that name. For sending me his new song to check out. I won't spoil anything right now, but it's great, and there's more to come. And you can check him out on YouTube as well. Links in the description. Also, big shout out, as we said earlier, to both Hasbro and Target for finally getting their shit together for the first stress-free Target exclusive online experience of all time. Barbecue is still on there, by the way.
Go get another one. No, you can't.
Oh yeah, I can, because this is another thing I didn't mention before. I didn't get them from Target because I just thought, you know what, I want someone else. If it's just one other person getting in instead of me because I got them from Pulse, then that's one less person getting angry and upset. And I was, and then this barbecue's still there, so I may even just dip in because I feel like I've been a good person for long enough now.
Well, if they do like Major Blood, then in a few months we should see plenty on the pegs.
Absolutely,
so
absolutely. See. I'm really excited to hopefully see them actually in store. Anyway, that's kind of it now. Just one more thing, a couple of things I wanted to say as well. It's Pride Month. and we would like to show our support for the LGBTQ plus community. And as we always say, we stand with the Asian and Pacific Islander communities in saying stop Asian hate, and we'll continue to do so. Follow the links in the description if you want more information or just want to do more to help. That makes me feel better doing that, even though it's about as useful to both, communities as a glass eye in a fog, as my dad would say, or a chocolate fireguard.
Glass eye in the fog.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
About as useful as a glass eye in the fog, or a chocolate fireguard, which is another good one. There's others as well that they used to just come out with them all the time. Anyway, that's enough of things my dad says. Also, big shout out to our patrons, listeners and viewers. Thank you so much for all the support. We really appreciate it. We've got another movie special coming up for you as well this weekend with Justin Bell, because there's been loads of movie news this week. So I thought we'd split it up and do this kind of thing as this is probably going to be the norm going forward. Just too much work to do for me, I'm afraid. Paul, mate, thanks for jumping on and filling in for Pat and also being just an absolute star. Really appreciate it, mate.
Anytime. Thanks for having me. It was great.
That brings us to the end of this episode. Thank you for watching the Full Force Weekly. Massive thank you to my awesome co-host, Paul Plastic Battles Panfalone. See you next time. And as always, after 3, you know what to do. 1, 2, 3. Full Force! I love the little bit at the end that you gave it.
Yeah, that's what I always hear it in my mind. It's almost like a Kermit or somebody doing it. Full force.
Make sure you get involved with the discussion by liking, sharing and commenting on these videos, and as always you can keep up with the show after listening by following on Twitter @TheFullForce, liking the Facebook page facebook.com/TheFullForce, and if you would like to contact the show you can message us on either of those platforms with feedback and questions. We also have a Patreon page, so if you want to show your support for the show, see your name up in lights on these videos, or enjoy exclusive bonus content, then check out patreon.com/TheFullForce podcast, or click the link on any of the posts this podcast appears in. Full Force.